Let's roll! The chimichurri is a fresh zesty sauce that does however contain a couple of dry ingredients. We'll start with those. A teaspoon of oregano and half a teaspoon of chili flakes go into a little bowl. We'll cover those with some boiling water and let them steep in it, just like we would tea. That will open up all the flavors and aromas. Onto the fresh herbs. I got some parsley, both curly and flat leaf, cause why not? You can pick out any obvious yellow leaves, and then the easiest way to go about chopping it is to roll up the whole thing into a bundle. Take your time, watch your fingers, and then do it in any way that you prefer. The goal is to just get the parsley really finely chopped. Then onto the curly leaf parsley, off with its head, and on with the chop. Just keep an eye out for any whole leaves or big pieces of leaf. You don't want any of that in the sauce. Then I'm gonna throw in the curly with the flat leaf parsley and go over the whole pile one last time. Then into a bowl we're gonna combine our fresh herbs with our dry herbs, which by now should be nice and fragrant. We'll also need 2 cloves of garlic, which you're probably already bored of watching me macerate, so I decided this time I'm gonna grate them in. Gotta retain that attention. Then cover everything with a lot of olive oil. I used probably around 3/4 of a cup, but what you're looking for is for everything to be almost submerged. Then to that we're gonna add some acid. I'm using the juice of 2 big lemons. Now I know what I just did is gonna trigger some of you. I know this is not traditional, you usually put vinegar in chimichurri, but I kinda like the freshness of the lemon, so give me a break. Season the sauce with a big pinch of salt and some freshly cracked black pepper. And that is it. Our chimichurri is done. It's amazing as it is, but if you leave it in the fridge overnight, it will taste even better. Now we need something to put it on. It's great on pork, it's great on chicken, it's even better on fish. But come on, it's gotta be a big fat steak. What I'm looking for in a steak is a lot of fat marbling. You can keep your baby food fillets. I'm having a Cote de boeuf. It's a good idea to keep this on a rack overnight in the fridge. This will dry out the surface and give you a better sear. Let it come up to room temperature and season it liberally with salt on both sides. Don't worry, it's not too much. A lot of this is gonna stay on the pan. I'm not gonna season with any black pepper now because it can singe on the hot pan and develop an acrid flavor. Speaking of pans, get yours ripping hot. Add a good splash of neutral oil, and when it starts shimmering, you know you're in business. Don't put your steak on the pan unless you can hear this noise. Let that sear for a couple of minutes, and in the meantime we're gonna dress our board with a couple of spoons of the chimichurri and some sea salt. This is where we're gonna rest our steak after it comes out of the pan. Get out of here. This is why you want to air out the steak overnight. Let that second side sear for about 30 seconds, then throw in a knob of butter, a couple of whole cloves of garlic, and a couple of sprigs of fresh thyme, and then baste. A steak this thick, which is about an inch, will take 2–2.5 minutes per side. Now comes the most important part, and I cannot stress this enough. Let your steaks rest for at least 10 minutes, preferably with some butter on top. After that, it's time to carve. Drum roll please. Nailed it! This is perfection, or as some might call it, medium rare. Hit that bad boy with some flaky salt, and now we can go in with the black pepper. Last thing we need to do is go over it with some of that fresh chimichurri. I'm going in. The freshness and acidity of the chimichurri contrasts and complements perfectly that fatty, juicy, salty, crusty steak. I don't know what to tell you. I think this is the best way to eat steak. So if you haven't had steak and chimichurri, go give it a try. Trust me. Roll out. Thanks for watching everyone. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, like and share the video, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll give you a new one every Tuesday. In the meantime, check these out.